Hello, it's Greg Harrelson here with Century 21, the Harrelson Group, and I've invited Chris Johnson with Nationwide Insurance to join me on this video just to answer a question that we seem to be getting quite often. And when we're working with buyers, they found that perfect property, they're looking to get their insurance, and maybe they're buying a property on the ocean front. There's a lot of chatter on the internet about HO6 insurance. So I think it can be a little bit confusing on HO6 versus general property insurance. And so I thought I would just ask you and just help them understand and give them an explanation of what is HO6 insurance.
Yeah, I get asked that question a lot. The HO6 policy is a very in-depth policy. Most people don't think of it that way, but an HO6 is a single condo unit owner's policy. Okay. And it is defined, and HO6 is actually the policy form that the condo policy is written on, an HO6 form.
Okay, so is it specific to condos versus residential homes, like primary residences?
Yes, it is.
It is specific to condos. So, and I know in Myrtle Beach there are a lot of properties being sold on the ocean front, so it is a very important policy. So what are some of the benefits of having an HO6 policy?
Really not having an HO6 policy is not an option.
Okay.
You have to have, a lot of the lenders now are requiring that you have to have an HO6 policy, and the Homeowners Association is requiring that you have the HO6 policy. But, as a home buyer, one of the last things that you would want to do is protect your investment. And, the HO6 policy protects your contents, loss of rental income, which is a big one, liability that covers you personally, or if you have it in the name of an LLC. It's very important that you cover it correctly to cover your assets and any other assets that you may own in that name. So the HO6 policy is definitely underestimated. It is very important that someone have this coverage, and a lot of times we're able to write an HO6 policy including all perils, which including earthquake, flood, wind and hail, fire, theft, depending on where it's located and what the construction and so forth. So a lot of variables. Wow,
that's great. That's a great explanation. So one of the things that I want to make sure that you that you hear, and speaking to the audience, one of the things that I want to make sure that you hear is one of the benefits of HO6, of an HO6 policy, is loss of revenue. And so in the event, if there was a storm and the building, let's just say the building in general was damaged and the building had to shut down for a month, and it was the month of August where there's a lot of rental income, but because of the building being shut down, that rental income was lost. Are you saying that the HO6 policy might kick in and cover that lost revenue?
Well, each policy, it depends on the verbiage on each policy, but
sure.
Usually speaking, what the time that the loss of rental income would kick in is if there's direct physical damage to that unit. If that unit does experience direct physical damage, then and it's covered under one of the perils, then they are going to get loss of business income that would be reimbursed back to the client for that loss of income that they would lose if someone weren't in it or they weren't able to rent it out.
Well, great.
So it's very important coverage.
That is a big benefit living in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So if there's any other questions that you might have regarding insurance of any kind, feel free to contact Chris Johnson with Nationwide. I'm Greg Harrelson with Century 21. If there's anything I can do for you, just reach out to us. We look forward to serving you in the future.